It's freezing cold. The poor students from BC had no idea it was coming. Some of them are on the verge of death, I think. Pretty lively group out here today, as you can see, giving us lots of lip. We'll have to deal with that later in the week. We'll see what we can come up with.
Oh no, it's filming! We're vlogging! Manitoba has their own vlog too. We're learning from you. No, we're just doing it. We're learning from you. Yeah, we're taking after your footsteps. But we don't have like this whole microphone set up yet, so we already have one done. First day. Room is definitely haunted because none of us slept.
This is great.
Where are we going now?
Supreme Court of Canada. Let's get this.
So our plan is to host a life night, and that's our plan.
Well, it's been a pretty busy day, but pretty exhausting day. I think we had the students had to do a lot of thinking and trying to get their arguments together for their meetings with mock MPs. So that just finished happening. I had to finish up a couple things at the office, but heading over to join them all for pizza now. So we're almost done for today.
Yo, I don't have any food. What a day, man. I am exhausted. Probably doesn't help that I slept at the office last night.
We do need to have a shower installed. Just saying,
It's
Mark.
that bad.
Yeah. Look, if you can have one,
Hey,
Mark, then we should have one.
I have an emergency change of clothes that's kept in the basement, so that's good.
Headed to Quebec! We're going to McDonald's. Woohoo! Don's in Quebec. Woo-hoo!
Hey, good morning, everybody. Today's the day, day 2, starting right now. This is the day they take all the things they learned yesterday about all the various issues, the various sessions, and the mock Meet Your MP sessions, and put it into practice. Today, they meet face-to-face with MPs and senators. Here we go.
Hello, so we just talked with Stephanie Pusey about abortion and the rights of the preborn, and it went really good. She totally agreed with us, so it was really nice to hear. It was really encouraging.
This morning we met with Senator Mitchell and we talked to him about the issues on sex trafficking and prostitution. We brought up the issues that we had learned about and the different statistics. We talked to him about Bill C-36 and we learned that he is already in full support of it and he has voted for it, so that's a big win.
Watched the question period. It's cool seeing it in real life instead of on TV. It's definitely entertaining to listen to also.
That's me. Benefit of recording is I never have to carry anything. Eddie's trying to upload all his videos from today.
Trying to pick a picture here. This one gal took a. Oh, you're filming it.
Well, we are here in the beautiful Chateau Laurier here in Ottawa for the fancy banquet with all the students. This is something they've all been looking forward to all day, probably all week, and we're excited about it too. Right now, our speaker is not even in town, so potentially we'll be waiting a little while for him, but Andre's pretty good at figuring out how to fill the space, so we should be good. That's a wrap for day 2 here from Ottawa.
Suffering without meaning. In other words, the way that we typically think about suffering.
All right, guys, what are we about to go do?
Outside. Street activism.
Yeah, what are we going to talk to people about?
We're gonna ask them the very good question of what do you think of assisted suicide, and then they're gonna give their response, and then we're gonna ask them what do you think of suicide, and hopefully they don't like suicide, and we can talk to them about the differences and the similarities between the two, and change their mind to
Preventing and engaging the conversation and changing their thinking.
and then bring them to this website, carryngotkilled.ca.
With these cool pamphlets.
Well, the Canadian government's planning to expand access to assisted suicide, and so we're just giving people information about why that's concerning and why people need supportive care and suicide prevention rather than more access to assisted suicide.
Well, here we are, day 3, out in the blustery cold and wind and snow, doing some activism on the streets. This morning we had some great talks by Rut Etheridge III, who gave our keynote address this morning after having a late flight in for the banquet yesterday, couldn't make it. And then we also had Blaze from CCBR, who was able to give us a talk on euthanasia as well, and activism and how to talk about that on the streets. And so now these students are putting that into action on a windy, snowy day here in Ottawa.
Everyone has human rights. How do you decide who's worth living in? Go to the website if you want to.
Hello, we are doing street activism on the streets of Ottawa, just outside of the ARPA office.
Bubble Zone. This is a personal dream of mine come true. So where we're standing right now, we can't talk about abortion, but we can talk about assisted suicide. So I'm very thankful for the free speech we do have in this country to talk about important issues, and I do hope we continue to fighting for free speech to talk about all important issues. But that's where we are right now.
Daniel is scary. He's intimidating and he scares me. I don't know. He's just young.
Have you done similar sort of campaign on this issue? Like?
Wretched pamphlets.
Okay.
Anybody that gets to chaperone, it's a great experience.
Yeah, excellent learning.
Yeah.
Excellent learning
Thank you very much.
experience. You can't get this in college, in university, and in high school. You can't get it anywhere. So it's worth the 4 days off school, young people.
like, so, okay, so as you can see, there's still some students hanging around and so on. It's kind of cleared out, but it kind of really touched me that as I was watching them go away, like there's 4 or 5 of the students were actually crying, saying bye to each other, and they've only met each other for 3 days. Like they're hugging each other from, you know, BC students and Ontario students, and so that was really, really cool. It's like that this is not just you know, an intellectual exercise where we're training students to be these advocates for issues that we care about. Like it's actually, it's an emotional, spiritual experience as well, and you're forging friendships with other people that share the same faith. These are brothers and sisters in a room together that have never met each other, and now they've met each other and they've built this relationship, and together there's this sense of common purpose, working and pushing for something good and worth striving for together. And I think, I don't know, I just, that little picture at the end with the tears and so on, I thought was a perfect picture of that.
So what was your favorite part of the conference?
Probably, I think for me, was going out and actually talking to the people and talking to people on the street, yeah, meeting them and discussing the topics with them.
I learned so much. It was really good. I like meeting with the senators and stuff. It was better than I thought it would be.
Just like meeting a lot of great like-minded youth, forming new friendships, having a ton of fun together. It's just great to have that kind of fellowship.
Street activism was super empowering. I wasn't say I was hop, skipping, and jumping to it, especially given the weather, but near the end I was getting super confident. It was like the first time I'd really been out there doing that kind of stuff. That was really empowering.
Kind of like facing something you're scared of.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
For me, I gotta say the people. Like, there's such a broad spectrum of people, not just. Yeah, so we met, first of all, a whole bunch of like-minded youth that I've made such great friends here. Just saying, if you want to get your heart broken, come to God and government, you will be very sad at the end. And MPs, I got to meet my MP and other MPs that are on our side, and that's encouraging, and even some senators we met, and then people on the streets, we got to see what most of them thought, and it was just very enlightening and encouraging. And
so going to question period and seeing how they like act in question period, it was really funny. 100% recommend that.
My favorite part was definitely meeting Senator Plett. He was very straightforward, and we had a great conversation with him. We didn't have much time to talk to him because he had meetings to go to, but he was very adamant on the Christian faith and how Christians should be involved more in politics, and it was very inspiring to see how straightforward he was about his faith, and how in his speeches that I read last night after we met him, how much he talks about God, and it just really inspired me. So.